guys, it's Tina and I am back, and I am here with another Get Ready With Me video. But this time around, I decided to keep it on the neutral side with the eyes, or my side of neutral, because to be honest, if I'm going to go through the trouble of putting an eyeshadow on, I'm gonna put eyeshadow on, and this is my level of neutral. Like, I'm still gonna do a little bit of smoky depth, and you know, I'm gonna amp it up and all, because I just don't see the point of putting on eyeshadow if I'm not gonna really wear eyeshadow, you know what I mean? And of course, I had to incorporate some glitter. I feel like every look that I've been doing recently, I have to grab for one of these Stila Magnificent Metals. What are they? Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadows. I can't put them down. I just love using them. They just add a little oomph to a look without being too overwhelming. It's like a mature and sophisticated way to use glitter, and it's easy. You just pop it on. It has the applicator and everything. You just blend it out. There is a little bit of fallout, so you don't want to put too much on and don't want to mess around with it too much. Like, if you start blending too much, it's going to fall all over the place. But I can't put them down. So I did a neutral eye, and I incorporated my new Zoeva palettes. I got the Matte Spectrum palette, which is their newest palette, which it's all matte. It has orangey tones, a few greens, I think a blue, a gray, and then like a mauvey purple. But nothing too crazy. It's mostly orangey tones. And then I also incorporated the matte palette. What is this called? The Zoeva matte eyeshadow palette. That's literally all it's called. And this one has, again, neutral tones, some orangey tones, and there are some crossover colors in these palettes. You see that orange? Like, tell me that's not the same orange. You see that mustardy color? Tell me that's not the same color. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. I'm gonna incorporate these two, well, I did incorporate these two palettes in this look, as well as the Glitter and Glow eyeshadow. And on my lips, I'm wearing a new lip color. This is from LA Girl. It's their Flat Finish Pigment Gloss, which is an oxymoron to me because it can't be flat, matte, and a gloss all at the same time. But I don't know how I like this, because you can't press your lips together because you end up lifting the color off your lips and it sticks together and it gets clumpy and lumpy, and it's not too fun so far. So I'm going to try them out some more, but so far, not loving this. But we're going to stop yapping. If you want to see how I accomplish this simple, neutral, but bold at the same time look, then stay tuned and I'll talk to you soon. Alright. Hey guys, so as usual, I'm starting off with a clean, freshly washed face. And I'm trying out a new moisturizer today. This is the Hydra Genius from L'Oreal. It is one of their new moisturizers. They sent this to me. This one is the one for oily skin. They have one for dry skin and ultra dry skin, and I really like this moisturizer. And I gave the ultra dry skin to one of my friends, and she's been really loving it. And for a drugstore moisturizer, it really feels silky and almost powdery on the skin, so I really enjoy that. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows. I'm using my Urban Decay Brow Beater. This is in the shade Dark, and I use the brow pencil to outline the shape of my brows to create and extend the tail end, and to also define the underside and the arch of my brows. And I love this brow pencil. If you know me by now, then you know I love this brow pencil. I have a brow tutorial linked below in case you're interested in further details. But once I'm done outlining my brows, I'm going in with my 3D brow kit from Dior, and I'm grabbing the two shades on my Paula Eye Definer brush just to work through my brows, diffuse those pencil lines, and to further fill in the sparse areas of my brow. Now I'm going to grab some concealer. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. I use the shade Dark to Deep, which I believe is their darkest shade. They may have one shade darker, but I don't think that's true. They have shades lighter, but this is one of their darker shades, if not the darkest shade. And I'm just applying that directly beneath my brows. It's going to help us to clean up the shape of the brow and also act as a concealer to cover up any stray hairs, as well as act as a little bit of an eyeshadow primer. And I'll use my Anastasia number 18 concealer brush just to blend that out beneath the brow, and then blend out the excess using my Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush. And then once that is all in place, I'm going in with my Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer. This is in the shade Medium, which is a skin tone shade. And I'm just going to apply that all over my lids. Again, this is going to act as my eyeshadow base, and it's going to help my eyeshadows stay in place and really intensify the colors that I apply on my lids. And again, I'll just blend this out using my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease brush just to remove any excess and to create a nice seamless finish on the lids. My concealer under my brows, that bare skin is a little bit greasy, a little bit suspect. So I'm going to set that in place with a little bit of translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I'm using my L'Oreal contour blender just to apply that over the concealer under my brows. And I'll go ahead and set my brows in place using my clear brow gel from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I usually do this last, but I decided to just do this ahead of time. Now we're going to grab our eyeshadows. As I said, I'm using my matte spectrum palette from Zoeva Cosmetics. And the first shade I'm grabbing is kind of a gray tone beige shade. And I'm grabbing that on my Eddie Funkhouser large crease brush. As I started applying that in my crease, it came off a lot more cement gray than I needed it to be. Like, it's a really gray beige color, and it was picking up a little bit too intensely for me on that brow bone area. I was trying to go for a transition shade, but this just wasn't working for the look I was intending on going for. So to offset that a bit, I'm going in with these pale, almost mango type shades. That's what I'm going to call it. It's like a pale subdued mustardy yellow. I'm going to blend those two shades together in the crease to try to add a little bit more warmth with those yellow tones, because that gray was just not working out. I really needed to offset the colors on the lid and crease area. So I'm just blending the colors back and forth. Again, trying to cover up that gray shade that we placed down before. I didn't want to skip this step because I wanted to show you my mistake and how I would fix it. Now I'm going into these more apricot-y peach colors, and that other shade is like a deeper orange, and I'm blending those two together to create like an apricot-y orange shade. And I'm just going to concentrate this on the outer crease area, just using back and forth motions to blend that color in that crease space. I'm not going too far on the inner lid. I'm concentrating this on the outer lid and that outer crease, and I'll build up the color and pull it inwards as we go. So I'm slowly building it up, building up the intensity so we get that peachy orangey shift to that outer lid area. Now I'm going in with the rich orange from the palette. This one is a deep, really red tone orange, and I'm again blending that in that outer V and outer crease area, concentrating it first in the crease to get that dimension going on, and then I'll blend it a little bit more on that outer lid space and create that outer C, outer V dimension to that crease and brow bone space. Now, we didn't have any deep shades in this Spectrum palette that I wanted to use, so I'm grabbing the matte palette, and I'm grabbing this deep dark burgundy shade just on the tip of the brush. I'm using the Eddie Funkhouser brush for the majority of this look. I'm just cleaning it off as I go, but I'm using this deep dark burgundy shade, trying to build up some dimension, but it's not really picking up as much as I want it to, so I'm going back and trying to build up the dimension. As I build it up, it does create more pigmentation, so it definitely works, but you need to build it up. I'm going into this deeper, darker, almost burgundy, dark brown shade. It has a hint of plum to it. I'm going to use this shade now to deepen up that outer V and outer lid space, and I'm, again, building this color up to create the depth and dimension that I want. It's not really picking up as much as I would want it to, but I'm trying to create that dimension, and I'll go around the edges making sure that I blend it out so we don't have any harsh lines as we go forward. And I'm going to put some more of that orange shade from the previous palette over this because I wanted to add a little bit more warmth. That brown just made it a little bit too cool tone, and I wanted to retain that warmth to the color. And I think that worked out pretty decently, but I'm going into this fallback shade. Not that it's a fallback shade, but it's a shade that I can rely on to give me what I need. It is Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the shade Fudge. It's a warm, beautiful caramelly brown, and when in doubt, I can pull this shade out and it gives me exactly what I want. So that's what I did, and I'm grabbing that on one of my Smith Cosmetics brushes. This is the 230. It's a smaller shader brush just to build up the dimension and the pigmentation, and then I'll go around the edges with the larger brush from Eddie Funkhouser to blend out the edges. And as you can see, we have that warm toasty brown shade now that I wanted to use for this look. So Fudge came in and rescued us. Now I'm going back into the matte palette from Zoeva, and I'm using the two creamy beige shades on my brow bone space just to add a highlight. And I'm using my MAC 252 large shader brush. I don't love these shades either. They're not my favorite shades at all, but they're gonna work for what we need them to right now. So I'm just blending it out, making sure that we mesh everything together on that brow bone and crease area. And I'll go into my Mirage eyeshadow, another shade that is a go-to for a highlight, because I felt like that highlight wasn't really doing what I needed it to do. So when in doubt, go for Mirage, and I'm applying that again under the brow bone just to create that nice highlight and give a little pop under the brow space. Now once we have those colors done, I wanted to add some shimmer to the lid, so I'm going in with D12 Crème Brûlée from Makeup Forever, and I'm applying this on my lid using my Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow brush, and I'm just popping that on the middle of the lid and bringing it towards the inner lid area, just trying to build up that color slowly. And I decided to really intensify it by using a little bit of my Smashbox primer water to dampen the eyeshadow and dampen the brush, and that's going to really intensify the shimmer and the metallic shine that these eyeshadows have. This one is the diamond finish, so it does get a little bit flaky, so I like dampening my brush so I can get the real true color payoff from this shadow without it falling all over the place. And I'll go around the edges of that color, blend it in with the matte, and I'm doing this very lightly to blend it in because I don't want to overwhelm the mattes with the shimmer, so I'm just using very short zigzag motions to blend out the edges of those colors and blend them together. Now, I couldn't do without this glitter shade, so I'm grabbing one of my Stila Magnificent Metals. I mean, come on. They're everything. This is the shade Smoldering Satin, and I'm just going to apply that right over the top of that eyeshadow that we have on the lid. This one has like a creamy bronze and then silver shimmer to it. The silver is the larger particles, and it's a really beautiful shade, and I'm just lightly applying it, and then I'm going to go around the edges of it with that same Kat Von D brush just to make sure that we don't have any harsh lines created by that cream glitter eyeshadow. And you want to work very lightly with these colors because the fallout can be a little bit intense, especially with the larger silver particles. And then I'll go back in with some of that Fudge eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills, lightly building that up on the outer lid and outer V area, just to make sure again that we blend everything together with that glitter eyeshadow, but we don't lose the matte effect that we want on that outer V that gives that dimension and depth. Now, like I said, there's some glitter fallout, so I'm going to clean up under my eyes just very quickly using a makeup remover wipe. You can also use tape to quickly grab at the glitter particles. But yeah, that works to remove the glitter. And now I'm going in with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. This is the pore minimizing version. I love this primer, and I ran out of my other one, and they sent this to me in PR along with their other primers, but this is my favorite one for my skin type and what my needs are. It really helps to mattify the skin and even out the pores, and I really love this primer. So I'm happy that I now have a backup of this. And for my foundation, I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Finish Foundation. The shade I have is actually darker than I thought I would be. It's the shade Cocoa 376C, and I'm applying that all over my skin. So I have stripes looking like I am in a tribe. But this foundation is really beautiful. It's their new foundation, and I'm buffing that out using my Marc Jacobs The Face 3 brush. And it's a very lightweight foundation. As you can see, it blends out really nicely, but it gives me a nice medium buildable coverage. But it doesn't look cakey or heavy on my skin, and it gives this nice demi matte finish. And I really love how it looks at my skin. As you can see, very simple, lightweight, doesn't look cakey, but it gives me nice even coverage on my skin. So nice foundation from the drugstore. Now I'm going in with the companion concealer. This is the Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Dark Cocoa as well. But this one is 845B, and I'm applying that directly under my eyes. Now this shade is a little bit dark. Looks a little bit dark for the under eye area, but It matches my skin tone pretty well, and I'm just going to blend that out using my Hourglass Vanish Foundation brush and just blend that out under my eyes. As you see, it blends in with the foundation color. It doesn't really stand out on my under eye. And I'm going to set everything in place using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 16-Hour Matte Finish Foundation. This is the shade 600 Golden Beige, and I'm pressing that into my skin using my Tarte Powder Player Brush, another great affordable powder from the drugstore. So all the foundation products are pretty inexpensive and available at your local drugstore. Now I'm going to set my under eye area using my Cover FX. This is their matte setting powder in the shade medium, and I'm applying that under my eyes using my L'Oreal concealer blender. Again, a beautiful sponge. I just love this sponge. I can't say that enough. And I'm just setting under my eyes with that powder, which is a lighter powder, and it gives a matte finish to the skin. And it's really finely milled, so it really evens out the pores and makes my skin look a little bit more flawless. Now I'm going to grab this Smashbox eyeliner. It's one of their cream gel eyeliners. They just debuted these, and they sent the full set to me, so I will swatch these for you shortly. It's the Always On Gel Liner Pencil, and this is the shade Brood, which is just a rich dark brown. And I'm going to apply that to the lower waterline, and then I'll go back in with the shade Fudge on a MAC 242 and blend against that lower lash line area just to give it a nice smoky chocolatey effect. And I'll go in with a little blending brush to make sure that I blend out the edges so it's a little bit more smoky and not as harsh. Now once we have everything in place, I can go in with my mascara, which is my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Again, my favorite mascara, and I found alternatives that are cheaper that I use for every day, but when I really want va voom lashes, I do go right back to my Too Faced Better Than Sex. And I got a little mascara smudge, but we'll fix that in a second. So I'm just going to layer up this mascara. We are going to go in with false lashes, so I don't have to spend too much time on these lashes. To clean up the smudge, I waited for it to dry, and then I just grabbed my charcoal cotton swab from Sephora, and bam, it's completely gone. No muss, no fuss. Now for my inner tear duct, I'm going to grab the shade 512 from, I think it's ME 512 from Makeup Forever. It's the shade Golden Beige, and I'm going to pop that on my inner tear duct area using a small blending brush from Chikuhodo just to intensify and brighten up that inner tear duct. And I really love this color for that inner tear duct. It really gives a bright, shimmery effect, and I'll just blend out the edges again with that brush using very light strokes to make sure everything is nice and seamless. For my lower lashes, I'm using my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara, which is my favorite lower lash mascara, just to make sure those lashes really stand out against the smoky lower lash line. For my lashes, I'm using the Studio Effects Demi Wispies from Ardell. These are their regular Demi Wispy lashes with a couple of inserts to make them a little bit thicker and a little bit more dense on the outer part of the lash. And I'm just going to apply those to my upper lash line area. And I really love these lashes. Again, they're inexpensive, but they give a little va voom, and they are very, very comfortable to wear. So I'll just make sure I secure the band in place. But I'm going to line the lash band a little bit using my Voluminous Liner Noir from L'Oreal, just to go over the lash band and cover up where the glue kind of comes over a little bit on the lash band. I don't want that to show through, so I'm just covering it with that black liner. And then I'll pinch my lashes together using my Shoot More S curler to make sure I blend my natural lashes in with the false eyelashes. Now moving on to the face, I'm going in with my blush, and I'm using one of my blushes that I haven't used in a long time, which is a really great blush for darker skin. It's Taj Mahal from NARS. It's such a great blush, guys. You should really try this out. This is the Chikuhodo T4 brush that I'm using to apply that, and then I'll go in with a little bit of contour. This is my pressed powder from NARS in the shade Valley, and I'm using my lovely Sonia Kashuk striped brush for this, and I'll apply a little bit of this also on the bridge of my nose. I'm using one of my Chikuhodo blending brushes. This is a GSN number 10, just to create a little bit of dimension on that bridge area. And I like to bring it upwards to my brow bone and then bring it downwards to create that more natural looking shape. And I have to make sure that I blend out all the excess powder because I don't want any harsh lines. Now I'm going to go in with my highlighter, and I'm using my Makeup Geek Duochrome highlighter in the shade Psychedelic, and I'm popping that on my cheek area using an R31 small shader brush from Morphe, just to pop that on, and it's a really beautiful peachy color. For my lips, I'm going to use one of these LA Girl Flat Finish Pigment Glosses, and this is meant to be a matte gloss, but yeah. The L'Oreal matte glosses are really nice, so I thought I would try these out. I found them in my local beauty supply store, and they're also now available on ULTA.com. I haven't seen them in store, but they're available online at ULTA. And I'm applying this, building up the pigmentation. It's a little bit sheerer than I expected, and it didn't really layer that well. It actually became very clumpy. I honestly feel like this lip color wanted me to fail because it is so gorgeous, and I love bright orangey coral shades on my skin tone. Like, I love them, especially for the summer and spring season. But it was just a lumpy, clumpy mess, as you will see in a minute. Alright guys, so here you have the completed look, and I really love how the eyes turned out. Like, I am so in love with this eye look. It took a little bit of work to build up these eyeshadows. They're nice eyeshadows, but I feel like you're gonna need some deeper tones in your collection. So deeper browns, probably deeper smoky tones, because these won't give you as much dimension if you're darker skinned like I am. And I'm not even like really dark, I'm like a medium dark skin. So if you're light, I'm sure you'll enjoy these because they'll give you enough depth. But if you're deeper and darker, you're gonna need some more, you know, some more pigmented shades to work with. But overall, the eyeshadows blended quite nicely. They weren't a pain to work with at all. They didn't cling or anything. And this glitter, I'm telling you, these are one of my favorite products to launch this year. And even in the last couple of years, I would say these are some of my favorite products to launch, period. Like, I just love this product so much. And I picked up the other 3 shades from their, is it the spring? Oh, no, the summer collection. Yeah, the summer collection. And I've been enjoying those too, even though they've been getting mixed reviews. People are like, oh, they're thinner than the other ones. They're not as pigmented. And honestly, I don't need them to be super pigmented. Like, the base of the color, I don't need it to be ultra pigmented because I'm going to use it as a topper. I'm not going to actually use it as an actual eyeshadow color. I don't need it to give me full opacity. But I get what people are saying because they are liquid eyeshadows, so you expect a little bit more opacity. But I'm happy with the pigmentation, and I'm just loving it. The lips, I don't know. I don't know if I layered too much and it just got clumpy or what. So I'm gonna test. It's like flaking off even on the corners of my mouth right now. So I'm gonna try out the other shades that I have, see how they wear throughout the day with a lighter application, and then make up my mind after that. But like, look at this. Do you see that? No bueno. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me video. Enjoyed this neutral look. Like, I've been doing colorful looks for the last few videos, and I felt like it was time to throw in a neutral. So let me know what you guys think. As usual, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a full list of the products used down below in the description box. I'll also leave links to where you can pick them up, and those links are affiliate links, which means if you make a purchase through those links, I do get a small sales commission, and it doesn't change the retail price of the product. It's just that I end up getting a small commission for the sale. And if you're not comfortable with that, go ahead and pick them up directly from the websites. You can just go ahead and search for them, or even pick them up in store where you normally shop. The thing about it is, I can probably get affiliate links for any of the products that I mentioned because I just go straight to Sephora or Ulta and I populate a link that way. So I'm not affiliated with any of the brands in any way, and I'm not being paid to say anything special about them. I'm just using what I have in my collection, things that I've bought myself or things that I've even received for PR and I've been enjoying. So hopefully that explains a little bit to you guys about the affiliate links. It's an easy way to support my channel and supporting my content, because this way I can put back into the channel with that commission. So if you do purchase through my links, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really truly appreciate it. And I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter page where you definitely should be following me along. And I hope to be bringing you a lot more videos coming up. I'm in editing mode right now. I'm like getting things done, swatches and all that stuff. And I do have 2 upcoming hauls for you guys. One is gonna be completely about lips. Like, I got so many lip colors and so many different brands to try out. Like I said, I'm doing my lipstick roundup, my liquid lipstick roundup video. And I'm testing out like the newer liquid lipsticks that have launched, and I'm trying to test out also cheaper alternatives, so drugstore alternatives. I pretty much have my top 10 though. None of them have really risen to the top, or they're creme de la creme of the recent ones that I found. So I do have my top 10, and that video is coming up very, very soon. So thank you for being patient with that. And then the other haul video will focus on other makeup items such as eyeshadows, foundations, all that stuff that I picked up recently that I am testing out and trying out, so I can share my views with you on the channel. And you know what? I have a third haul because I do have some PR stuff that I was sent that I'm really excited about, some really great stuff. And that's what I like about PR products. I get to try out more products than I would typically purchase myself. I kind of get to be more rounded with the products, and I get a sneak peek into recent launches, and I can share these new products with you guys and share my thoughts ahead of time. And I know a lot of you guys also see the mutual benefit of having PR products sent to me. So I do have a couple of haul videos coming up. I know you guys enjoy haul videos because who doesn't like to just look at makeup and talk about makeup? And I've also tested out a few of the products, so I will give you like mini reviews during the actual haul. So this video is long enough. We've talked a lot, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.